will start on time to give our speaker his full slot. This is Martin O'Hanlon, and his talk is Blue Dot, It's a Bluetooth Dot. Let's give him a big warm welcome.
Hi, my name's Martin O'Hanlon, and I want to tell you guys a story. It is the story of how I made a wireless button. It is a gripping tale of industrial espionage, theft, a hot shower, and Bluetooth protocol support in Python. So this project is called Blue Dot, and its job is to make remote controlling projects easier. If you saw the kids' presentations yesterday, there were two lads who had a little robot, and they controlled that with a mobile phone. They used Blue Dot to do that. That's its job, is to make controlling physical things wirelessly easier. So, kind of every solution starts with a problem, and this is the problem that I faced. So I work for the Raspberry Pi Foundation. One of the things we do is teacher training. Our teacher training course is called Pi Academy. And we make lots of things. We create things. We make things spin, we make things light up, we make things make sounds, we make things move around the floor. But inevitably, this happens. Yeah? Like, wires are a nightmare, right? They're always in the way. Yeah. So this was my problem, right? I found this tremendously frustrating as a facilitator at Pi Academy when somebody says, I want to take the wires away. Well, let me talk to you about sockets and like VNC and like really hard things, right? And they didn't want to know that. So I created this vision, right? And my vision was pretty simple. A wireless button which is as simple to use as a wired button. That was the thing I wanted to do. And weirdly for me, because I tend to be a bit slapdash and a bit, do, I created a set of objectives. I thought about this thing because it was a problem, right? And I thought, well, you know what? These are the things that I want this thing to be, right? It should be, right, for those who are new to Python, they should be able to use it. But it should also feel familiar, yeah, for those who aren't new to Python. Yeah. It should be as simple as possible to install. One of the biggest barriers for any learner is simply getting the thing. Yeah. It should have documentation and guides, and they should be representative, yeah, of the audience that are going to use it. Yeah. The fifth one was it should work, right? Yeah. And there's a caveat to that one. It should also work in public places. Because quite often these things are in public places, and they're not in like hermetically sealed labs. Yeah. Cool. So I set a set of objectives. Those things are really important to me. So then I set myself to this task, right? And I found myself pondering, right, I need a button. What button am I going to use? Am I going to use like an actual button? Am I going to use like a software library that makes like a real button really easy to talk wirelessly? Is it going to be like a thing? Or am I going to manufacture a device that's got a big button and a box with an arrow? I don't know. Right? What is it? I don't know. Now at this time, I was working for an insurance company. And I was in a collaboration meeting with marketing of this very large insurance company. I had this great idea. I'm going to set the scene for you. Right, what we want is a mobile app that's got a big button on it. I like big buttons. What does this button do when I press it? Right, what the button does when you press it is it's for like in the use of emergency, so like water's coming through the ceiling, press big button, it phones us. And I thought, I've already got one of them on my phone. I've already got a button that phones people. Why do I need another button? So my initial thought was, what are you talking about, right? However, I like your big button idea. I like your virtual big button idea. I'm going to pinch that. Yeah? I'm not going to create a physical button. I'm going to create a virtual button on a phone or on some sort of like device. Yeah? A virtual button. So I pinched that idea. I'm a big fan of pinching ideas. So I found myself like, okay, so I'm going to create a virtual button. So I've got like a big button. How am I going to make this thing talk? How am I going to make it communicate? And kind of realistically, I found myself with two practical choices. I can use Wi-Fi, or I can use Bluetooth. Right? Wi-Fi. No. Never. Right, if you've tried to make two things talk to each other in a public place over Wi-Fi, particularly when there's lots of other people using Wi-Fi to make two things talk to each other, it just doesn't work. Right? Bluetooth. Okay. I mean, pairings are pain. I mean, how many people can honestly say that they've paired their phone to their car first time? right? But actually, Bluetooth was the right choice. Yeah? It's short range, right? It's peer-to-peer. You don't need anything else. You don't need additional infrastructure. You don't need a router. You don't need yeah. It's a good choice. So, okay, well, Bluetooth sounds like the right way to go. But how over Bluetooth? You know, Bluetooth low energy. Ooh, that sounds like quite interesting, doesn't it? We should use that. But actually, getting Bluetooth low energy to work, particularly as a peripheral on Linux in Python, is possible. But easy to install? Nah. And certainly a year and a half ago when I started creating this thing, easy to install? No. Really hard to install. Certainly not something you would give to somebody who's done an hour's worth of Python and an hour's worth of digital making. So I found myself going, okay, well, classic Bluetooth, still works pretty well. So I find myself doing some investigation. I go, okay, well, RF-COM. RF-COM's like serial over Bluetooth. It's super simple, really easy to get your head around, right? It's got really good support. It's really well documented. But it has a major drawback, and the major drawback is iOS, in Apple's infinite wisdom, do not let you talk RF-COM over Bluetooth. I've been unable to work out why. They just don't like it. Yeah. So I've got a problem. Do I give up and go, well, it's just not going to work with iOS? So I found myself in this situation. Is it better to have a solution which is easy to set up for a lot of people, i.e. all those people that don't use iOS or have access to an Android device or are happy to use another device for their remote? Or do I make it hard for everybody? So I make it easy for most. Yeah. But it was a tough choice. But it fitted with what my objectives were. So weirdly, I've done the right thing, which I never did the right thing. So I now had a blue dot. I now had a blue button, right? So this is when it became blue dot. This is when I named the project. It's blue because it uses Bluetooth, and it's dot because somebody had already taken blue button in PyPy. Otherwise it would have been blue button, yeah? So I experimented, and I built a prototype. I built Android apps that would talk to Python libraries. And I found myself in a good place. You kind of reach this point in any project, you go, this is going to work. This isn't just the ramblings of a madman. This thing is going to work. Yeah? But I needed an API, right? And APIs for learners are incredibly difficult to get right. Incredibly difficult to get right. So I go back to my objectives. So the two things, right? For those new to Python, you should be able to use it. And it should feel familiar for those who aren't new to Python. So I find myself, okay, well this thing's a virtual button. I want it to be easy as a physical button. How do I code a physical button? And if you've done any programming on a Raspberry Pi, you choose GPI 0, that is how you code a button. A physical button, one that's connected to a pin, in this case it's pin 17. Yeah? You create a button, you import it, you create a button, you tell it where that button is, and then you can run methods, very verbose, almost method names, wait for, press, and then you can do things. Yeah. So as they say in Birmingham, I went on the rob. I nicked it. Right. Is that a bit naughty? I don't think so. I don't. It perhaps feels, ooh, I'm just doesn't feel like I'm taking somebody else's idea. But actually, there's a huge amount of benefit to this, and there's a huge amount of benefit to actually just incorporating what is already in the ecosystem. It feels familiar, and if it feels familiar, it's easy to use. Yeah. And it also means that this virtual button works really well with physical buttons and other physical things like robots and LEDs and stuff like that, because I need it. Yeah. Could I have created a more appropriate API? Come on, maybe. But again, going back to the things that I said were important right at the start, I wouldn't have fulfilled the things that are important to me. So why does it matter? So I've now got a big blue button which you can press and you can make stuff happen in Python code. That's exciting, yeah? Well, I thought it was exciting. So I released it, I uploaded it to PyPy, I stuck the app on the Google Play Store, and I tell a few people about it. I get to version 0.1, right? And at this point, I just want to kind of go forward a little bit in the story. So this is probably a couple of months later. Somebody shares this picture with me. This picture's a good day. Why is it a good day? Because there's a guy using Blue Dot for the thing that I thought it would be used for. And the thing that I thought it would be useful for was making something happen when you press a button. Yeah? And not having to go, I'm going to press the button over here. Yeah? And I'll have Y's try it. Yeah? This puts me in a good mood, yeah? I think it puts everybody in a good mood when you see the thing that you've created for the reason that you've created it being used. Yeah? Big high five moment, boom. My wife has to put up with me and go, look at this thing! And she goes, what thing? This thing! Is that the thing you've been doing, Nonnie? Yeah, that thing. She's serious, fine. Alright, so I've got this big blue button now, and it's a simple design, and it's really simple and easy to understand, but it's also super limited. So I've got one big button, right? You can press it, you can probably release it. So you can do one thing when you press it, one thing when you release it, maybe a double tap, maybe like a triple tap, quadruple tap, however far you plan to get over this thing, yeah. So it's limited. So bring on the shower scene. People talk about these like shower moments, or like, like water cooler moments. I don't have those, but I had a shower moment. And I was thinking, I was pondering this. How do I make this thing do more, but still maintain it being basically a big blue button that's really simple? And I found myself going, oh, it's quite a big button. I mean, the buttons go, right, this thing's massive, right? Yeah? And it fills as big a screen as you've got, right, you know? What if I could tell where it was pressed? So actually, what about if I split it up? And I said, well, if it's pressed at the top, the bottom, the left, or the right, or in the middle, I've suddenly got 5 buttons. And if I replace top and bottom with forward and backwards, I've got like a D-pad, and that makes me quite excited. Yeah. And it's great for controlling things like buckets, because suddenly I've got 5 buttons, so I've got directional movement. That's still quite vague, though, isn't it? What about like more interesting things like specific X and Y positions? Yeah? Or maybe the distance from the middle, or the angle from the middle. That opens up a few more things. Or what about rotating it? It's a big circle. Anybody ever have an iPod Classic? Yeah, remember the click wheel? Oh, I mean, that's a satisfying movement, isn't it? Yeah. So I thought, that's quite exciting. That's a different way of using a big blue circle as well. Let's do a bit of that as well. And also, it's a big blue button, you can swipe it. Yeah, you can swipe it left, you can swipe it left, you can swipe it down, swipe it up, swipe it down. But it's still a single big button that can still be used as a big button that when you press it, something happens. Yeah? But if you find yourself going, actually I need more than one button, or I need a way of navigating through menus wirelessly, or I need a way of moving on to the next thing, or moving back from the previous thing, yeah? I've taken a simple design, and I taught a really valuable lesson, which is constraint can embark creativity. I constrained myself with a big blue button, and thought of different ways that I could use the same model to achieve different things. So, kind of like what next? New features, definitely. So you can change the colour of the big blue button. You can make it green or any other colour you want. And that was something that I felt was important, because actually quite a few people said to me, I want some feedback, so I want to know that the thing that I wanted to happen has happened. So I turned my light on at home using my Blue Dot app. I want it to show the colour of the light that I've put on. Oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense, But actually, if you kind of change the colour and you have different colours, meaning different things. Interesting, you can also make it square as well now. I think it's important that I maintain this simplicity, this big blue button. Yeah. Because it's where it's starting and what it's useful for. It's a button to make things happen. Yeah. At some point, Blue Dot will move to Bluetooth Low Energy. Once Bluesy and kind of Debian's distribution of Bluesy is caught up, and then things like experimental modes are passed away. But that will happen. Yeah. And iOS will happen at some point as well, which makes me kind of quite excited about it. There are a couple of really key lessons for me in this. Things that I've perhaps told people that I've mentored over the years. Have a vision. You know, set yourself some goals. You know, stick to what you think is important. You know, all the things that I told people I never did. Yeah. Feel like this, I did. And actually I feel it's a better thing for that. So, I think I'm up on time. So, if you want to know more, go there. I think I've got 2 minutes. Is that 2 more questions? Even that long?
No, you've got 5 minutes.
Have I? Oh. Excellent, thank you.
Let's give Martin a big round of applause for the talk.
Oh, my time is different to your time.
Oh.
No, that was mine.
Oh yeah, you're right. Sorry, you've got loads of time. You only had 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Any more talk, or you want to take questions?
I'm happy to take questions, or I'm happy to do code demo, or whatever you want.
Is this going to work?
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have to.
Oh,
we want to see.
So, hang on, I'm going to have to pick it up. This is the robot I cart around places. It's made out of an ice cream tub, but it's quite good for like demo and stuff. It's got a Raspberry Pi in it. That's why I'm like that. That's about it, really. So, this is a little program. So this is VNC to that Pi. This is a little program that I've written. Block. Hang on. I've got 2 screens going on. So we create a blue dot. We create a little robot. You have to accept that these numbers are the numbers of the pins that drive the motors. I've got 2 functions. One called move. One called stop. When I press it, it should move. When I release it, it should stop. Yeah, everyone loves a live demo. If I press that, do I get a camera? Yeah, look at this. Right, okay. So, this, can you see that? This is the blue dot app, yeah? It's basically saying, these are all the things that I've paired. So that thing's called Robbie the robot. Right. And we click on Robbie, hopefully it should connect to Robbie the robot. See, connecting to Robbie. I mean, it's not going to work, is it? That would be ridiculous. Oh, it did! Yay! Here we go. So there's the big blue button. Right, so what did I say the code did? No, I remember. If I press it goes forward and when I take it off, it should stop, yeah? Oh! Yay! So the thing that we talked about was we said that we could find out where it was pressed. So when it moves, I get this position thing. So I could say, you know, if pos.top, then we'll go forward. I presume I can say if pos.bottom. You have to tell me if it's because I can't see it on the row. See robot.backward, bed.
Yeah.
Down. Like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Should we try that?
Yes.
Nice. How do I make things working?
Stop and start.
Yeah. This is very exciting.
How are you sending that code to the robot?
Oh, sorry. That thing is just on the Wi-Fi to my laptop. I'm just VNC to. I'm just VNC into that Pi that's running on it. I mean, it's amazing it works, isn't it? Oh, hang on. Have I got my phone or something? No, I've just got some sort of weird rotation. Right, okay, so. Oh, here we go. So we connect to Robbie again. That was quick, wasn't it? So hopefully, should we go backwards first? That's probably good. So if I press at the bottom, it goes backwards, and then I press the top. I am a massive fan of my own work, by the way. I'm a true believer, if you're not, nobody else is going to be. Yeah? That makes me smile. Yes. Love it. Thank you. Let's just go back to, I don't think there's any more. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Thank you very much for listening to me. And I hope you enjoyed and learned something about big blue circles.
Thank you. There's plenty of time for questions. Hands up if you have a question.
Is there any? You said that you've got colour and shape that you can use to provide feedback. Is there any other ways to provide feedback in the application, or any sort of instructions? So someone could use their phone and connect to it and know what to do, or do you have to just...
Oh, right. So the three options you have for feedback is to have no button, have a square button, or to change its colour. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Nice. So when going forward,
Yeah.
you could have written a line of code to say square
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah. Sort of like yeah, I think it's bd.square equals true. I don't know, it's that. It's not particularly complicated. Yeah. Hello.
Hi, can you have more than one device paired at the same time?
Sort of. You need to have more than one Bluetooth adapter. But if you had so say you had that Raspberry Pi and you had 5 USB dongles all plugged into it, you could have 5 things connected to it. But it's a peer-to-peer connection, so it has to be one-to-one.
Did it require you had to put a dongle on?
No. So that's just using the inbuilt Bluetooth on that particular Raspberry Pi. But like I say, you could add as many adapters as you felt you needed to. Oh, there's another one. Yes.
Will Apple? So you think you can get yourself onto iOS at some point?
So the big challenge is that Linux doesn't. Making Bluetooth low energy work in a way that is easy to install and easy to set up is quite difficult right now, right? And that's really the only thing that Apple will allow you to do with their kind of default software stack, right? So if you're prepared to jailbreak your phone and do things like that, you've got considerably more control. But if I wanted this thing to work, for a large group of people, I had to make that choice to go, do you know what? I can't do it. But hopefully, as time moves on, we'll see Bluetooth low energy support, better Bluetooth low energy support, at which point I will then change Blue Dot to use low energy rather than classic.
So you'll wait for the Raspberry release to catch up with the features you need, and then...
It's more the Blue Z, which is the kind of Bluetooth driver that sits as part of Debian that I need to move itself forward.
So can I use Blue Dot to control stuff on my class one as well? Or is it Raspberry Pi specific?
The only requirement of Blue Dot is Linux, because it uses Blue Z to communicate with hardware, and that's about it really. So if you have a Linux laptop that's got Bluetooth adapter, you can use that in exactly the same way.
I think you possibly just answered this one, but is there any way to use it with things like the BBC micro bit?
No. Although there's a friend of mine, Barry, did create a bit of a patch to do exactly that. Yeah. But that wasn't my intention. My intention was pretty specific.
Yeah.
Any more questions? I've got one. Have you open sourced all your work here?
Yeah.
For example, the app. You kept the app very simple on purpose. But if someone did want to, add menus or whatever, they could actually fork the app and publish that. And
yeah, absolutely. There's a GitHub repo with all the code, including code for the Android app. The only thing you won't find is the private key I need to upload it to the App Store, to the Google Play Store.
And had you done coding for phones before? Did you get
No, well, other than the kind of hobbyist, I'm going to create my first Android app. That was the only thing I'd ever created. So this was the first app that I published to the Play Store.
What was the hardest bit, including the Android app development and
So,
comms and?
The hardest bit, is creating a reliable Bluetooth comms API. Yeah, something which knew when the phone went out of range, and would exit gracefully. Something that would know when either one connected and would tell you, and either thing would know. Something that wouldn't just hang because it randomly didn't receive a message. So the Bluetooth comms API was far and away the hardest thing to create. And obviously you've got to create two, because you've got to create one on Android and one on Python.
Is that bit something you could package separately?
Already have. So there's a module as part of the Blue Dot package called BTCom, which is exactly that, the Bluetooth ConPlay.
One more?
A short question. Have you tried using your BTCom stuff to have like a Raspberry Pi talk to a laptop?
Yeah, I mean, so quite often, interestingly, one of the things that I found is at Pi Academy, people quite often use that BT comms layer to get two Raspberry Pis to talk to each other because it's easier than faffing about with Wi-Fi and all that sort of stuff. So if you just want to send out a message between two things, it's like super easy.
Well, I think we can all agree the talk and the project deserves a big round of applause.